What's going on, everybody, and welcome back for episode 39 of Hit the Books. We've got a champion in the NBA this week. NHL Stanley Cup back in action. Game 4 tonight as we're recording here. Lots to talk about, lots to uncover. We got a guest this week, so let's jump right in and introduce my co-hosts, Huff and Mackie. Huff, what's happening, my man?
What's going on, everyone? Happy to be back another week, episode 39, as you said. We have a guest on this week, a fellow friend of mine, high school graduate, Brett Carney. Happy to have you on, buddy. What's going on with you?
How we doing, fellas? Glad to be here.
We're happy to have you, Brett. Mackie, what's happening, buddy?
Yeah, not much. Same old. A lot of sports going on right now. Got college World Series to talk about too. So, we got some new shit going on with us. So, should be fun. Let's go.
Yeah, so much to uncover this week. We got lots to go over.
Let's start with this NFL news.
All right, first up, let's jump into some NFL. Four-time Super Bowl champion Rob Gronkowski announces his retirement from the NFL on Instagram, calling Tampa Bay his childhood dream destination to play in the NFL. Gronk, however, did not mention the New England Patriots organization in his post. What do we think about that, boys?
Obviously, second time he's retired now. He mentioned that will really threaten retirement when he almost got traded to the Detroit Lions, but said it when he retired the first time he came back, but hell of a career, obviously, four-time champ. Name all the stats with him and Brady, but when he retired, I saw all over Instagram, I'll never be able to bet Tom Brady to Gronk anytime touchdown ever again, and all the highlights of him and Tom together, but I think it's interesting he didn't mention anything about New England, but again, he could have, you know what I mean? He just came back to play for the Bucs, but not even anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he already retired with New England, so he probably already said everything then. And I don't know. I kind of saw this one coming. He only came back for just to say he came back with Tom Brady, win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people are saying right now, obviously with what happened with him before, I think Drew Rosenhaus's agent said I wouldn't be surprised if Tom gives him a call come, week whatever. Hey, Gronk, you want to come run this thing back for the playoffs? We're going to win the division. Division's pretty much locked up. You know what I mean? Like that division they're playing in right now in the NFC South.
Just come play in the playoffs, literally.
Yeah. That's what he just doesn't want to go to camp right now, and that's the whole reason he wasn't signing the contract. Is obviously the stage of his career that he's at. He doesn't want to go to camp. Four-time champ, he's a proven winner. Guys like that, they don't want to risk getting hurt at camp. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back. Brett, what do you think about this? You think? Say about Gronk?
The only other tight end that the Bucs really have right now is Cameron Brate. He shows a couple glimpses here and there. He played in a couple games, had some receptions, seen here 4 touchdowns last year, which is fine for a tight end. He's obviously not Gronk, but when you look at what else is available in the NFL, there's not really any better options. So is this maybe just a Tom Brady and a Gronk thing? Like Mackie said, get back to the playoffs, or you're 3 weeks out and you're pretty much, solidified that you're going to make it. Hey, Gronk, what's up? You don't think you come back, give it another run? The guy's a freak. Shape he has to really stay in outside of the work that he puts in any other year to just come back and play in the playoffs. But I don't really know what else where they go from there, if they want to try to replace him or if this is it.
Yeah, because it's always interesting when guys retire. Guys like this kind of announce their retirement after the draft and after a team has a chance to address these issues with a young player and a draft pick. But it'll be interesting to see. I don't know any. There's not too many big name tight ends moving around right now. Like you said, I don't know too many guys on the Tampa Bay depth chart at the tight end position other than Brate. Jay Howard, he's still there?
I don't know if he is.
He's been banged up.
I was looking at just some other free agent wise. You have so guys that are Gronk's 33, 34, something like that.
Mid-30s range.
Guys that are younger than him. You have Eric Ebron or a Jesse James or a Blake Jarwin.
Yeah.
But if any of those, you're not getting what Gronk gave you. So are you actually going to go out and try to get someone, or are you just going to adapt and play with Cameron Brate, who's probably going to be a receiving threat and not as effective, but you're not too worried about the actual pass blocking ability of him or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be interesting to see what Tampa Bay does to fill that gap. Obviously, they could know something that we don't. They could say, obviously, if we have this division locked up, like we've said, hey, why don't we're going to offer you a deal. It's up to you if you want to take it or not, but the offer is going to be on the table come October, November, whenever the latest they can sign him is. I mean, I know a year. Brett, Jesse, you guys probably remember when Le'Veon got hurt in that playoff game or before that playoff game against the Ravens at Heinz Field, and we had to bring in, I think it was Ben Tate to start in a wild card game.
Yeah.
So, like, you can sign guys all the way up to playoffs. So it'll be really interesting to see what he does. I would not be surprised if he comes back.
I will say that I hate that that's even a debate. Like, I hate the whole, oh, I'm retired and now I'm coming back. I think just as like maybe just someone who respects the careers of guys like Gronk or Brady, or like you look back at Brett Favre. If Brett Favre had just retired with the Packers, don't you feel like his career and his status as a Hall of Famer would just been, that much cleaner? I'm just not a fan of announce retirement and then we come back.
Yeah, and then he goes to the Jets. Like in Favre's case, goes to the Jets and
yeah.
Kind of
out for Brady and Gronk, for Gronk, obviously, but I don't know. Maybe that's just a pet peeve thing. I mean, it'd be fun to play at elite, level, but
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I don't agree necessarily with it's kind of like you look at the NBA and the load management, stuff like that. That's kind of guys like Gronk in the NFL. They're just going to, I mean, I'm cool with you holding out camp if you're, you know what I mean, a guy like Gronkowski and you've proven it, you can do it in the NFL. You're not, you're truly trying to not risk an injury. I know you know the playbook. You've been here now 2 years. So, I mean, there's always stuff you can learn. That doesn't mean he's not watching film and stuff, but as far as on the field stuff, I don't have too many issues with guys missing like camp and stuff like that, but you're going to be there with the boys. And I mean, you might not be playing in preseason, but you're going to be there with the boys week 1 all the way up till playoffs. You know what I mean? When you win the division, like partying in the locker room, like there's nights. I mean, we've all played sports. The nights on the road, like with the boys, that builds chemistry with these teams. And even in the NFL, all the way up to when these guys are 35, Tom Brady, 40 years old, like stuff doesn't change from whenever you're a kid to all the way up to, you know what I mean, playing professional sports. I mean, it'll be interesting because obviously him and Tom have that connection, but it'll be interesting to see what happens if he even comes back. We're talking like it's a guarantee that he's going to get an offer, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised, and I think a lot of people wouldn't be.
I think we're going to find out more on him as the year goes away, like you guys were talking about. So let's jump in. Let's go home. The Pittsburgh Steelers sign offensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi to a 1-year contract. Ogunjobi, coming off an injury, went to the Super Bowl last season with the Bengals, played 4 seasons with the Browns after being drafted by them in 2017.
I think this is a big addition for the Steelers. Obviously, he's known up. I keep hearing things like he's not known too much for the run stopping aspect. As a defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman, clog up your hole and you're going to stop the run. I don't know how like guys can be bad run blockers. I know he's a smaller, considered to be a smaller guy for the defensive tackle position, but I think this is exactly what the Steelers needed to address. And obviously, a guy that's been in the AFC North with 2 different teams, 4 years with the Browns, a year with the Bengals, last year going to the Super Bowl with them, but coming off an injury, I think he's going to have a bounce back year with the Steelers and see what he can do next to guys like T.J. Watt and Cameron Hayward.
I think this signing's awesome. I mean, I've watched just a little, like when you go back and watch him as film, because I heard the same things, Huff, about his ability in the run game. But I think even for being undersized, maybe height wise, I think he's got pretty good. His arm length helps him out. Like you watch some film against the Niners or the Vikings, and his ability to get into the chest of offensive linemen and kind of just establish his position is fun. And I don't know if I'm someone like Ogunjobi who's gone from Bengals or from the Browns to the Bengals and now I'm on the Steelers. You got to hope that someone is playing that you've been playing with and you just get the chance to unload on them. I feel like that's got to be every footballer's or sports person's dream, is just to go against somebody they've played against and just hopefully annihilate them.
Yeah. I mean, like, playing for, obviously he just played for the Bengals, but obviously there's still teams on that or players on that Browns team that he's played with. He's going to know guys around the division on the offensive line. So it's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back. Like I said, coming off I believe it's a foot injury. It might be an ankle. So excited to see, obviously, the Steelers next year. It'll be interesting to see what they do at the quarterback position with Trubisky and Pickett, but that's a different topic for a different day. But Ogunjobi, the Steelers, I like it. Like you said, big signing.
I think it's nice because it replaces, obviously Stephon Tuitt retired, announced his retirement. So there's a hole there. And then you have Aluwalu coming off of his ankle injury from last year. So maybe not putting as much pressure on Aluwalu to come back and take all the load management time and kind of split it up between the two. And then if one kind of emerges, let them just kind of ride it out with Hayward and Watt and see if you can either play with all four or just go three.
Yeah, I like that kind of game plan, I guess you would call it, but it's a nice four down lineman, if you ask me. I mean, I know Watt's considered more of an edge rusher, but more of the time doesn't have his hand on the ground, but you know what I mean. Front.
If you're Ogunjobi, do you just after 1 year try to get a deal with the Ravens then, just to say you completed
just sweep the AFC North?
I mean, I feel like you have to, right? If you've already been on three of the teams, how many players in the NFL have played on all four teams within a division?
I don't know if that's ever been done.
It's probably never been done, actually.
It'd be kind of cool. Like, you just have to aim for it. You got to tell your agent, like, hey, I'm a year here. I don't care what happens. Give me to the Ravens next year, and we're done.
I mean, he's probably got like 4 years left. Even if he did 2 years here, he could be like, all right.
Yeah. Seal goes for a year. If it works out, keep him, and then send him to the Ravens.
Trade him to the Ravens. He requests a trade to the Ravens.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, do you know who you are? Like, you're not fucking TJ Watt. You can't just request a trade. You have to be good to request a trade. So let's see how you come off this foot injury.
I'm sure he still has a soft spot in Tomlin's heart.
Oh, yeah. See, it'll be interesting. What do you think this means for Mason Rudolph, bringing Ogunjobi in the lineup? Guy that
Dude, Rudolph sucks. Nobody likes him. Nobody's ever liked him. Get him out of there.
Yeah, Mackie, I don't know if you remember this. Ogunjobi's the one that threw Rudolph on the ground, and then when he got up, that's when Myles Garrett cracked him in the head with his helmet.
Oh, so he was involved in the play?
Yeah, so Ogunjobi's now a Steeler.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't really know much about the guy. I was just going to let you guys talk about it.
Yeah, so that's who this is. And then now the fact that he's a Steeler with Rudolph, obviously Rudolph's going to be third string.
I mean, they probably won't even say nothing to him.
Yeah, they just won't
even a third string, like.
You just don't. I mean, I don't even think Rudolph makes the team this year. I think they're going to cut him. I think that's kind of the game plan, but.
I think he should be on a roster. I don't think he's like.
No, he should be on a roster. It's just the fact that they drafted Pickett, brought in.
Maybe not your roster.
Yeah, and then they drafted that Olakun, or I don't know how you say his name, Olakundun, or whatever his name is in the 7th round. It drafted 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's weird.
I feel like teams, whenever they draft a quarterback in the first round, I feel like they do that often. I feel like they usually take another one.
Adam Schefter tweeted on Monday talking about potential landing spots for defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh. Suh then proceeded to tweet the tweet and said, Raiders would be fun. Could we see the former Super Bowl champion join the Las Vegas Raiders this season? What do we got?
That'd be cool. I like that. Raiders need to build the team up anyway. They're in that tough division, so it's just building their team. It's a good asset.
Yeah, obviously a guy like Suh, he add him to any lineup. I was kind of hoping the Steelers got him with some of that extra money they had laying around. They go for a guy like Ogunjobi, a cheaper option, a younger guy, but Suh, I'd like to see him go to the Raiders too. Obviously another AFC team that if I want my Steelers to succeed, but going to be a tough matchup. But again, like you said, in the AFC West, all those 14 or the 3 other teams in Denver, LA, and Kansas City, adding. I mean, not necessarily Kansas City adding; they're more subtracting, but still what they are with Mahomes. You're always going to respect them as a team. But I think this would be good for the Raiders. They get a guy like have Max Crosby, Chandler Jones. A lot of people are forgetting the Raiders brought in Chandler Jones this offseason. I like Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, and you get Sue to plug up the middle. That's a scary defensive front out there in Vegas.
I can't think of a more Raiders player than Ndamukong Suh.
That is the most accurate statement I think I've ever heard.
The Lions, and then he went to the Rams, and now he has the chance. Well, he's hinted towards a chance that if he could play for the Raiders, Ndamukong Suh in a Raiders uniform would be sweet. That would just be fun. That guy would do whatever he wanted. He's the villain of the league.
Step on someone's ankle again.
Why not? If I'm him, sure. What do you do? Find me? No problem.
I make $14.5 billion a year probably.
Go ahead, I'll find $100,000. I'll do it again.
There was years when he was in Detroit, he was making so much money because they just had no one else to pay. He was making like $22 million a year.
That's insane.
Just had no one else to pay.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. Was he ever up for Defensive Player of the Year?
No.
Hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to look that up. That's actually interesting.
I can't remember if he was or if it was just like he was the only player in Detroit, so everybody just knew who he was. It was like him, Stafford, and that's it.
Looking it up right now. I'm looking up Ndamukong Suh defensive awards. If he's ever won anything. No. A college football defensive national or some award in college, but never defensive player of the year in the NFL.
Huh.
He's 307. Big dude.
Yeah, he might even be bigger than that.
Yeah.
He's a big human being.
Come playoffs, he could be like 320.
Yeah. And most of them, like, even him, I wouldn't even say he's fat. He just can carry so much weight on his frame. It's insane.
Yeah. And guys like that, they're just so big in the way they move. It's crazy. It'd be interesting to see if he lands with the Raiders.
How many huffs would it take to take down Ndamukong Suh?
4, 5, 6?
I'd give you 4. I think 4 could do it. I don't know. I lied. I think 5. You need 5.
4 would be like he would be fighting it, and then the 5th one would take him down.
4 would be just enough for both legs and both arms.
Yeah, and then he'd like headbutt me or something with his big ass head.
Yeah. Step on your throat.
I'm like hanging on both legs, like a toddler hanging to, like, you know what I mean, like wrapped around someone's leg.
You're doing the whole like, oh, I'm gonna arm wrestle you and I'll let you act like you're gonna win, and then just absolutely power drive you into the ground.
Yeah, it wouldn't go well. Big dude.
Sean Watson's lawyer says 20 of 24 civil cases against Watson have been settled. The NFL says development has no impact on the collective bargaining disciplinary process. So, interesting.
This guy's fucked.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't play at all next year. I hate the Browns.
The Browns organization, they're morons.
He'll be fine. He's gonna get a 6-game suspension.
Think 6?
No way. Be more.
They always give 6 games. What they're gonna do? They always do.
I saw a tweet. They brought it up. They said when Big Ben had his 2 allegations or whatever that was, and he had a 4-game suspension. This guy's got 24.
Got 2 games. 4 games?
No, he had 4 games. 4-game suspension. Big Ben did back in the day for his alleged.
Yeah.
Show me the Carfax. Alleged.
Show me the Carfax.
He's retired. He's a man. No, Sean Watson stands no chance, and I hope Baker is their next best option, and he just holds out and tells them that he wants to be paid.
That's what I keep saying, but he's not going to do it. That's what me and Mackie keep saying.
He still has way too much to prove.
He should just act like he is putting everything behind him and then just come out and tank the season.
No, he should just drop his cock and make a sick playoff run and then go somewhere else.
And then he should be like, fuck this place, because he's not going to. They're not going to win a Super Bowl.
No.
They can make like a little win a playoff game or 2.
They could win a playoff game, and then they'd probably get someone from that AFC West.
And if he wins a playoff game, if he ends up doing that, that's a Super Bowl for him.
Get $30 million.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, like, if Watson gets a 6-game suspension, we'll just say, because you said that, we'll use it for sake of example. Baker starts. Browns are 4-2. Baker's averaging 256 a game and 2 touchdowns as a pick in 6 games. You putting in your $230 million quarterback, or are you leaving Baker in?
No, you're leaving Baker in, but he's on a tight leash for the entire season.
Leaving Baker in.
I'll tell you what, I'm not really like a Baker fan, but man, he got absolutely dicked over by the Browns.
He makes way too many mistakes.
Yeah.
He did get fucked over by the front office, I agree.
The whole thing, though?
I mean, he didn't really, I don't know, he hasn't proved anything.
No, I don't think he's a winning quarterback like everybody in Cleveland says. No, Baker's still our guy. Baker's this. He's not. He's never going to win anything.
Yeah, he's not the guy that you need.
He is not that guy.
He is not that. You're not that guy, pal. You are not.
You're not that guy.
All right, let's shift over. Let's do some MLB. The New York Yankees are the first team to reach 50 wins this season, coming in with a record of 50-17. Could this be the year that the Yankees are able to make it out of the American League and complete another World Series? They're currently plus 450 to win the World Series. What do we think? I mean, Yankees are hot. What do we got?
They just slipped in front of the Dodgers for the first time, and I saw the amount of days, but Dodgers been the World Series favorite for the past year and a half. But Yankees at plus 450. I don't know if I love that value too much for knowing what they've done in the playoffs as the past couple of years. It's tough to say. They obviously everything's going for them right now. The bats are looking fire, but kind of team they go cold, it's going to go bad quick. So hot start. It's tough to argue if 50-7 or 50-17 is a record.
I honestly think plus 450 is good. That's good value at this point. This team is absolutely ridiculous. This is the best team we've ever seen with our own eyes that we've watched. I think they're 50-17. They're pitching. They have the best starting rotation in the league. They have the best bats in the league.
Did
If one of them's
Garrett
off,
Cole's no hitter the other day?
What?
You see Garrett Cole's no hitter and they pulled him?
No, they didn't pull him. He gave up a hit.
Is that what I thought?
He started the 8th inning, gave up a hit, they took him out, and then he actually ended up getting an earned run because that runner came around and scored.
Oh.
So the second he gave up a hit, they took him out. But there's not one weakness about that team.
Oh,
not one. Their bullpen is at best in the league. Aaron Judge has 27 home runs. He has another 2 tonight.
They don't even have Chapman right now. He's been out for the past couple of weeks.
They don't need Chapman. Chapman sucks.
Aaron Judge has how many home runs?
27. He hit 2 more tonight.
Oh my lord.
Next up after that is 21. It's Trout.
Wow.
The Angels have been dog shit. And they've been all right lately, but they went on that tough streak.
They're just a below average team, I think.
Yeah, they're never gonna do anything either.
Sounds very familiar.
I actually might get that Yankees at plus 450. I don't see anybody beating them this year.
Just so early.
It's only gonna go down, like he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think if you're gonna get in, now is the right time. I don't have a problem. The MLB season is so long. 162 games is insane.
Yeah.
So many baseball games. And
the fact that they've already played, what is that?
100 games out for the season, it's like
they're buzzing right now, so they definitely be my pick for the American League, but I wonder what kind of odds you can get on them in the American League. Probably like 190.
I want to get a Subway Series, World Series.
That's what a lot of people are hoping for. That's the only reason I'm scared to bet it.
My boy got season tickets to the Mets, so I'll be going to that.
Would you be able to go to the Yankees games too, or no?
I don't know, probably not.
Yeah.
Whose
tickets would be more, the Yankees or the Mets, if that was the World Series? Whose tickets do you think would cost more?
I'm not really sure because Citi Field is more like bougie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's Yankee Stadium and it's the Yankees, so
Yankees in the World Series.
you pay a Yankees tax at Yankee
Just
Stadium,
like
but
Cowboys, Steelers, there's always those teams.
exactly, yeah. So I don't know. It'd probably be like about even.
Yeah, just because
I
of the
think
fact that the newer venue versus the just being
exactly, yeah.
Yankees.
Exactly. City Fields is like so much nicer, and like so they have that factor, but I don't know. It'd probably be around the same price. I don't even know what the tickets would be like. Like, what would baseball tickets be in the playoffs?
I mean, obviously the Pirates never make it, so
I know Pirates wild card game tickets are not cheap.
yeah, because they make it once every 20 years.
Right, but
I was at that game.
same here.
That game, I love when people say that.
That game, yeah.
I love when people say that.
That's the single greatest Pirate memory in the last 20 years.
That's like I'm like
No,
they've never been good. I've watched them my whole life. They've had their glimpses where I'm like they could go on a little run, then they trade one person. And I'm like, okay, it's just like every other year. And
Yep.
that's my favorite thing when Pirate people say like, oh that game. I'm like, that's all we have. It's all we have.
Like
Everyone knows exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's the 2013 wild card game. Cueto. It's like
Who'd you guys lose to?
2015. Bumgarner came here and just fucking almost no hit us.
Yeah,
And Arrieta beat us.
he nailed us.
We had to face like prime Mad Bum and prime Jake Arrieta in back-to-back years. Maybe not back-to-back. There might have been a gap in between it.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
I believe there was a gap.
I don't know if the Pirates have made playoffs in back-to-back years.
No.
Back-to-back appearances.
They go 13, 14. I don't remember. 13 was the Cueto game against the Reds. Then they lost in 5 games to the Cardinals.
That'd have been in.
We were in 9th grade.
So that'd have been 14.
Okay. We got some more baseball going on. A little College World Series, Mackie. I don't know how much you've been into this, but Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah.
Oklahoma Sooners beat up on Texas A&M today to advance the men's College World Series finals. They'll face the winner, Arkansas and Ole Miss. I don't know the current score of the game right now. It might be over. I knew Arkansas was up 3-1 last time I checked.
No way, Arkansas was up. Let me check it real quick. 3-2. They won, so they will play a third game.
Okay.
Or a second game at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been betting on it. I took Texas A&M yesterday against Notre Dame, but I also took them again today. So, I don't know. I didn't think anyone was going to be able to beat Ole Miss, but now they got that game tomorrow. So
I like this Oklahoma team and this Arkansas team. I've watched like a couple games, and they were both of them, and they were just. It was the one game when Oklahoma was beating up on Arkansas, and then I watched the. I forget when it was, Arkansas versus. I can't remember who it was.
Ole Miss.
It was Ole Miss. Yeah, that's who they're playing right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that'd be a cool matchup. And Kyler Murray's been on all the Oklahoma games.
Has he actually?
Yeah, well, not all of them, but he was at a couple of them. I said they were showing.
Well, their women's just won it.
Mm-hmm. But it would be,
right?
Yeah, it would be cool if they did the baseball, softball national championship. That'd be pretty tough.
Yeah, definitely.
Golf news here too, Jess. You want to get into this before we get into some NBA?
Yes, sir. Let's jump into some golf. 4-time major champion Brooks Koepka is golf's latest big move from the PGA Tour to Live Golf. Koepka joins Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Reed, Dustin Johnson, and Phil Mickelson as yet another name to join Live.
I'm a Brooks fan. Him now he joins obviously all that beef and kind of drama that he had going on with Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, he had to go.
And now they take that little rivalry over to the Live Tour, so you got to think they were willing to pay whatever for Koepka. That I saw a lot of people saying they found their price for the rivalry to bring Brooks and Bryson back together. But yeah, I still don't know. Are these guys allowed to play in majors? Some of them just played
They
in the
haven't
U.S.
decided.
Open.
They haven't said anything yet. But
Yeah.
there's no way they're going to let him play in majors. There's zero shot.
No. I saw the PGA came out. They already said that they're going to have their own little selective tournament or play in whatever match you want to call with like the top 4 players at some point. So they're pretty much just trying to say you can take the players that you want now, but then we're going to pull out this random fun bag and throw it around for top 4 guys just to say that, hey,
When's the next
they'll pay
major?
people. But it's the
It's this weekend, isn't it?
this weekend. What do we got?
Is what? Matt Fitzpatrick just won the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Sweet. And you guys watch it?
I didn't watch.
Yeah, I was
didn't
watching
watch
it. I
on
Arts,
Sunday.
yeah.
I was watching a little bit on
I
Friday
had-
and Saturday. I didn't watch anything on Sunday actually.
I live bet Zalatoris on Sunday, so
Never
it
bet
wasn't.
on him, dude. He's always in the top 3. He never wins.
Bro, he was playing so well though.
He's always in the top 5, 3. Never wins.
He missed a putt by a fucking hair to tie it on 18,
But he
and
did
he
it.
lost.
That's what he did at the Players too.
Bro, oh my god, it was a long putt too. It was a tough putt, but
It was a pretty long putt. And the greens
Yeah.
were moving so fast.
That is
Yeah.
the one thing I like about the U.S. Open is how that course is just like the greens are fucking hard as shit. The rough is like
bro, they fuck you.
Yeah.
I saw some videos. It was insane. You could hit a dead center in a fairway, and it would have put it into the water because of the hill on the fairway.
it's insane.
I think John Rahm had a putt on 14 on Sunday. And I mean, he barely touched the ball with his putter. And this thing flew past the hole. I'm like, I don't really even know how else you get it there without putting
You
away.
just
Like, what do
you
you
kind
blow
of just got. Yeah, you kind of just gotta hope that it falls in the hole as it's going past it.
Yeah,
I mean,
sometimes you need a little luck.
yeah, it's definitely really hard. That's why people say like, I saw something that was like, if you were able to start minus 72, do you think you could win the Masters? And like, no, I would actually shoot 72 over on the first day. Like,
I actually would just not be able to finish. I would lose
I wouldn't.
and then I would just be out of balls after like hole 3.
I would literally probably
Same.
shoot 72 over on like a PGA Tour course on the first day.
I don't golf, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I do. But I know a lot of people that like act like good golfers, and I would bet a lot of money that they couldn't even make it out of Amen Corner with minus, 30.
Because the thing is about PGA courses is that their tee shots are 150 yards further than like a normal tee shot, and their roughs are so dramatic. Like we wouldn't even be able to find our ball if we because they have people
they're
watching.
so
Grass
bad.
is 4 inches
They have
deep.
people watching it, so they obviously always find their ball. But
Grass is like 4 inches deep in some of those spots.
it's incredible. I would actually probably shoot like 80 over.
Like I do remember one part I was watching the Open or the U.S. Open, and I do remember the one announcer saying it's actually some of these guys would rather be you'd literally rather be in the sand than the rough here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, at least you can make contact with your ball in the sand. You know what I mean? Like you're hitting in 4 inches deep of grass, like you said, like, yeah, you're gonna find your ball, but are you gonna fucking even be able to get it back to the fairway? Like, obviously it depends where you're sitting, but
You have to weed whack the rough before you can actually find your ball.
Before you can even get your ball
hope.
out.
Huff, when are you picking up the clubs?
Need to. It's been the one thing I wanted to do that since I stopped college or since I graduated. In a year, I still haven't done it.
You shoot lefty?
I shoot righty, but I have clubs. I just never play.
I thought you had left. Did you just have lefty sticks, or did you use a lefty stick for hockey?
I shoot lefty in hockey. The reason I shoot lefty in hockey is because like when you skate with one hand on your stick, I always liked my dominant hand being always on my stick. You know what I mean? Like when you're skating, when you're a lefty, your right hand's on the top.
Yeah. Now I was gonna say I have a couple extra lefties if you wanted to just shoot around.
I do want to try a lefty driver. I've never hit a lefty driver.
You always gave me the hockey sticks for deck hockey for bags.
Puff is absolutely going to be the goofy guy that drives left and hits his irons and his putters and everything right.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sweet. What do you mean, a switch hitter?
Dude, I mean, that's like total goofy.
Swag.
Puffy always has been,
haven't
you, pal?
No rhyme or reason, but I'd love that. That'd be funny.
Go to buy my first set of clubs. The guy'd be like, all right, yeah, this is a good set. I'd be like, all right, can I get the driver and a lefty?
What are you looking for? I'm looking for all righty clubs with a lefty driver.
Lefty driver, lefty putter, everything else righty.
All right, pal, get out.
All right, you're a psychopath. Get out of my store.
All right, you can't afford this bag. Get the fuck out.
All right, we want to slide into some of this NBA. We have a champion, as Jesse said.
Yes, we do. Finally, a champion in the NBA. Maybe one to be expected. Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors win the 20 NBA Finals in 6 games, defeating Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. The Warriors take home their 4th title in the last 8 years. Do we call that a dynasty?
Absolutely. You call that a dynasty.
Been a dynasty.
Absolutely. Just making sure.
Obviously, Ben Curry gets the Finals MVP. That kind of solidifies, obviously, as if it didn't need already. If he needed more, he finally gets his Finals MVP. Obviously, this core of this Golden State team gets a 4th ring. Curry, Draymond, Clay, and Mackey. Last week we were talking about if Iguodala was there for he was there for all 3. So Iggy gets his 4th with the Warriors. The big, some would argue the big 4 back in the day whenever he was hooping in the what was it, 2015 Finals when he won the NBA or the Finals MVP. 15.
Yeah, well, when they recruited KD, they all went to the Hamptons and met with him, so they called him the Hamptons 5 with Iggy in there.
Yeah, I always liked Iggy. I knew that's what they were gonna do whenever they got up big in that last game. I knew he was gonna come in.
Throw him
I
in
wish
there.
he had more of a role, but kind of like Udonis Haslem right now.
Yeah, he's just older in age. 2015 he won his Finals MVP, so how important he was to that team and that dynasty that they had. But I got a question for you here. So with Steph winning Finals MVP and it's 4 rings that he has now, where do you put him all time?
Top 12 to 15.
He's top 15. Yeah,
there's no way you can't have him in your top 10 right now.
I was gonna say he's bubble 10, but then I was like 11. I figured it was better to say 12.
I have him at 7.
So,
and I know I dick ride him, but
yeah, but we're also so new age biased that
not even. It's just with also the impact he's had on the game of basketball and all of his accolades and what he's done to the game. He's got to be top. He's got to be at least top 10. You cannot name 10 players that had a better career than Steph Curry.
Yeah, you can.
For all of his accolades and the way that he's changed the game and 3-point shooting, you cannot. I promise you cannot.
My top 5 in no order. I'll give you 5.
NBA all-time top 10 players. You can't name 10 players better than Steph Curry. I'm not arguing.
No shot.
Better players, yes. Better. I know what you mean with the accolades and everything you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
I mean, like Kareem, Magic, Bill Russell, Bird. I mean, you could go on.
Go on.
MJ,
Jerry
Kobe,
West,
LeBron,
Shaq.
KD.
Shaq is not higher all time than Steph Curry.
Just as many rings, more MVPs.
You don't think Shaq is in the top 10?
Shaq is.
I think he's 10. I think he's 10.
Shaq is not arguably. He's the best player at his position ever, and Steph Curry is arguably.
He's the most dominant player at his position of all time.
Yeah, so for me, Shaq gets the nudge on Curry.
I agree.
Oh well, I disagree.
I don't think Kevin Durant's better than Steph Curry all time though.
Well, that shouldn't even really be a question.
Well, his name popped up.
Or better basketball player or better career?
Just better all time. you rank players at all time, you would say Steph Curry is definitely ahead of Kevin Durant.
Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah. But the series, Jason Tatum, kind of the story for me, not really showing up much in the fourth quarter of any of these games. Jaylen Brown kind of doing everything that he had to do to keep the Celtics in this series. Couldn't get it done in 6 games, kind of. Jesse, I'm going to ask you to insert that little clip I had you cut out of the podcast 2 weeks ago, me absolutely calling how the series was going to go. 6 games, as soon as the Warriors get 3 wins, it's going to be a wrap. They're going to head to Boston in Game 6 in this thing. Warriors win it in 6. You can insert the clip right now.
No, I would say I don't know. You want to make a serious pick on this? I'd say I think Warriors in 6, but it's going to be tough for them to win one and close the series out in Boston in Game 6. So, but I think as soon as the Warriors have 3 wins, I think they close it out. I don't think there's a chance where like it's 3 if it's 3-1 and it goes back to Golden State for Game 5. I think they close it out in 5, or you know what I mean. In that situation, if it's 2-2. And it goes back to Golden State for Game 5, and then I think Golden State wins 2 games in a row, winning Game 5 and 6 to win the series in 6 in Boston.
Nets guard Kyrie Irving is expected to decline his $36.9 million player option. Lakers, Clippers, and Knicks are potential landing spots for the former NBA champion. Brooklyn is still the most likely spot for Irving to play for the 2023 season. But if the right trade partners present themselves, do not be surprised if Irving is moved before the season begins.
Yeah, obviously the big storyline coming out of this is everyone's talking about the potential trade of Russ for Kyrie. I don't know if that's actually going to be a thing, but I've seen that from multiple things where
Didn't even be a
Kyrie could reunite with LeBron and Russ is going to reunite with KD. I don't know if either LeBron or KD want that to happen or if that's just the media putting that around, but I've still heard that Kyrie's most likely to stay with the Nets, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, he's a head case, so anything that comes out of him could just kind of don't believe it until it happens. So we'll see what comes of this. Would you want him on your Knicks, like
Who?
Kyrie?
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want Russ.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't get Russ. You guys wouldn't get Russ. If anyone got Russ, it would be Russ going to Brooklyn for Kyrie.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting Kyrie. I mean, it would also attract some superstars too. Because I feel like superstars don't want to come play for the Knicks. I don't understand why. You're playing out of Madison Square Garden. You're playing for I don't know if they're number 1 anymore, but top 2 wealthiest franchise in the NBA. So, I mean, you'll get the money. You're playing in New York City.
Got a lot of young talent too.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with that. I feel like they're gonna be stupid and trade it all away for like Donovan Mitchell or something. But I just want them to keep R.J. Barrett. You got to keep Emmanuel quickly. Mitchell Robinson.
What about Obi?
Yeah, my friends are so high on him. He actually played. My boy played against him in high school basketball before I don't even know where he ended up going, but I think he went to Stepinac. But he was like not even that good, and then like junior year hit, and he hit a growth spurt, and he was sick. So they all like really like him. I don't really like him that much.
Looks so awkward to me.
I feel like he's just not an NBA player.
Looks like
I mean, he obviously is.
Like this is no comparison to him as a player, but he just looks like a B grade. Like I don't know, like he looks like my player, like a generated player.
He just shouldn't be
He looks like
a starter
if
in the
you
NBA.
hit my career on 2K and didn't customize your player, that's what it's going to give you.
99 dunk ability.
Yeah, I just don't think he should be starting in the NBA.
I don't think he should either. Nice bench piece.
Yeah, he's good 7th man, right? 8th man, maybe.
Think Kyrie would even consider going on the Knicks if the vaccine mandates.
Why are the Clippers an option?
Probably.
Well, it's the same as in Brooklyn.
There's a 3-way trade somehow between the Lakers, Clippers, and Knicks. It's something I saw. It was like some crazy. There was like 8 players that were getting moved around.
I love when guys make those types of trade scenarios. It's like, dude, how long were you thinking about this?
How many times did you have to tell IBM Watson that was a good
Yeah,
idea?
you have to tell the IBM Watson trade suggestion.
How long did it take you to Photoshop the success of your IBM Watson trade?
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what he does here. Clippers. Is Kawhi going to play next year? Paul George.
Clippers are going to be good, dude. If Kawhi's healthy and he's playing 80 games, 78
Not going
games,
to play 80 games.
they're going to be really good.
Not going to
What?
play 80 games. He's like the king. He's like the one that started load management. He did load management
I
before
know,
load
but he
management
just
was
sat
a
out
thing.
an entire season. He just sat out an entire season.
Done that before with the Spurs, and then he comes back and he's like, all right, I'll chill for a little bit. The only reason
Yeah, he's the definition of fucking load
he was
management.
doing it before it was called load management. Literally invented
Yeah, they
it.
literally called it load management. Yeah.
Literally invented that term. Like this dude,
The NBA is so soft that way. I fucking
you get
hate
55 games out of Kawhi next year. That's a success for me.
Yeah.
More than half.
That's just ridiculous.
60% of the games, and he's gonna.
It's literally, it's just killing his legacy. He's literally one of the most talented players of our
Like
generation, at
I'm
least.
not gonna be sit here and go back to that list, but like if he would play every fucking game, the dude's won ring and a Finals MVP with 2 different teams, and now he's on a different team with a really good squad and has a chance to do it again with a third team.
I think his championship in Toronto means so much to his legacy because that team literally the year before got swept by LeBron and then comes back and he makes that sick finals run and it wasn't even like that he won it. It was like the shot against the Sixers.
I'm surprised you feel that way as a
Steph
Warriors
Curry and
fan
that
because they were
legacy.
so injured that year.
I mean, you can't put an asterisk next to anything. First of all,
I agree. I'm the same way. I'm like they won. That happens. It's sports. You can't fucking be like they didn't win. Klay Thompson got hurt.
But nobody was stopping Kawhi that year. I mean, that defense was one of the best defenses we've seen in the past like 10 years. That defense was so underrated too. But I don't know. I think Kawhi's legacy is literally getting tarnished just because he plays 40 regular seasons games every year.
Yeah, I agree. Just can't show consistent. The best ability is availability.
He is like someone. He's like a Jimmy Butler, honestly. Just a playoffs player.
Yeah, he's like Gronk. He just waits around for the playoffs.
Just waiting for Paul George to call him. 10 games left in the season.
Getting a call from Paul George and we're not in first place, I'd be like, I don't know if I'm coming back. You're not that good.
I actually hate Paul George.
I like him. I just love chirping him because he's the easiest NBA player to chirp.
Yeah, Pandemic P is literally the worst nickname of all time.
Playoff P, they're all the best.
That is so degrading. You know what that does to you?
He was a dog when he was on the Pacers against the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals those years with Lance and that Pacer team. I liked him when he was younger.
Well, they were a 1 seed.
Yeah, he was good. He was number 24.
I didn't pay attention to a lot of basketball back then, but
he was number 24.
I knew tough. Yeah, didn't he get injured?
Yeah, that's when he fucking tore his leg fell apart in the Olympics.
Team USA, right?
It was disgusting.
Yeah, he went and did bad. It was like a Kevin Ware.
It was literally like the same thing.
Probably Coach K's fault.
Yeah, it probably was Coach K's fault.
When's the draft? Tomorrow?
It is tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of NBA draft.
You guys want to talk about that?
Some of the odds on FanDuel.
Knicks are trying to trade up for the 4th pick to get Jaden Ivey.
Ooh.
I can't.
I don't know if it's gonna happen. We're gonna end up getting rid of like fucking RJ Barrett for it.
RJ Barrett for the what's his name?
Steve Cohen's gonna panic and just fucking click the button. Like
click the button.
Reject or accept.
It's like it's Madden.
Yeah, literally.
Find some NBA draft. I know you could bet it somewhere. Trying to find like odds on who they think's going in what order. You know what I mean?
Who do you think goes first? Chet?
I think Chet. It's such a magic move to take that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna be bust.
I think he's gonna be a bust too. Do you agree that it's
I
a
was-
magic?
I
It's a
was just-
magic move to
how-
take him.
What do you mean?
They love a foreign dude like that. Like I know he's like not. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like they love that big white center.
Oh, like Orlando Magic move. Are they even like a magical
No,
move?
that's an Orlando Magic move to take him first.
Yeah, definitely. You're definitely right.
I love those.
You just think
they
of
love,
Vukovic
they
right
love
away.
those foreign players. Where's he from? Is he
Chet?
from? I think he's from the United States, but like Holmgren, that's like.
No, I don't think he is. Is he?
I don't know, I want a confirmation on
I thought-
that.
I'm looking it up right now. He's from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought he was from here.
That's about as American gets, I
Yeah,
think.
just a big old
Yeah, but his family's definitely not from
Yeah.
here. He's probably like
Holmgren. That's like some German something maybe.
sounds it right.
Still, that's my take. I feel like it's a very Orlando Magic. I'll specify an Orlando Magic move to take a large center,
Just another
a large
bust.
lanky center that's not going to do too much for him.
I think Jabari Smith might be the best player out of this draft.
I think that's why the Magic don't take him as a second pick.
That's accurate.
Who's Jabari Smith falling to?
He'll probably be third.
He's going to go third.
That's what he was projected.
Really?
It's a mock draft.
I know
Yeah.
people were. I saw him as a minus 190 favorite to go first. Yeah.
Really? Oh, maybe I'm wrong then. I don't know.
Then I saw Holmgren at plus 120. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up. I sent it to my cousin the other day.
There's somebody that I'm forgetting about right now.
Two. Give me 1 second. I'll literally have it pulled up. Paolo Banchero. Here's the odds.
Paolo Banchero is going to go
Here's the
second,
odds.
and Jabari Smith is going to go third.
Aki, look up the order of the top like 10 picks, and I'm going to read off these first overall pick odds.
All right, give me 15
The
seconds.
first overall pick odds for the NBA 2022 NBA draft. Jabari Smith minus 182. These are via the Barstool Sportsbook.
All right,
Ed
we got
Holmgren plus 120. Paolo Banchero plus 900. Aiden Ivy 15,000, and then these are just a couple other big names. Shaden Sharp.
Wait, can you read the first three again?
Top three are Jabari Smith minus 182. Ed Holmgren plus 120. Paolo Banchero plus 900. Go first.
Wow. All right, well, Magic first pick, Oklahoma City second, Houston third, Sacramento Kings 4. That's who the Knicks are trying to trade with. Detroit Pistons 5, Indiana Pacers 6, Trailblazers 7, which that will be a big pick after they just got
I hope
Jabari Grant.
Abaji goes to the Pacers.
Who?
Ojai Abaji from Kansas.
Yeah. Pels got 8, Spurs got 9, and Wizards got 10.
Hate the Wizards. They're the most relevant NBA team.
It is a weak draft though.
Yeah, definitely not a huge NBA draft this year.
Alrighty, I think it's time to jump into the bread and butter, the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. We got Game 2, the Colorado Avalanche defeating Tampa Bay Lightning to nothing in that game. The Conn Smythe Trophy betting favorite, Cale Makar, scoring 2 goals in that game. Jumping over to Game 3, the Tampa Bay Lightning come back to Tampa and defend their home ice in Game 3, defeating the Colorado Avalanche 6-2 to make the series 2-1. Lightning forward Braden Point did not play in Game 3, and Nikita Kucherov was shaken up after a collision going down to the boards, which led him to heading to the locker room for further evaluation. Have we heard anything on that?
Yeah, he's playing.
I thought so, yeah.
Oh.
Kucherov, when he took that injury late in
Yeah,
Yep.
Kucherov's playing, yeah.
I thought so.
It was game over, so they just took him out for the rest of the game.
Right. And Game 4 happening right now. The Tampa Bay Lightning jump out to a quick 1-0 lead in Game 4. This game now going to overtime, correct?
Currently going to overtime 2-2. Mackie, you like that take this morning?
Dude, you should have bet it.
Wish I did.
I didn't take the over though. You talked me out of it.
Hit that one right on the head.
got a quick trend for this series. The Avs are the first team to score 11 goals in the first 2 games of the Stanley Cup Finals since 1996, when they did it last.
Joe Sakic.
The boys were buzzing back in '96.
For real.
You want to hear another quick stat? Listen to this. All right, so Avalanche won 7-0 the other day. What was so that's the second largest point margin victory when a team's held to a shutout in the Stanley Cup Finals. What's the highest and who did it?
Isn't it the Penguins won?
I'm assuming the Penguins
won
did it.
9-0 against the Minnesota North Stars.
Oh, 8-0. Man, you guys know your shit. Guess I'm talking to a bunch of hockey guys. All right, well, it's a fun fact for me, so I'll just keep those to myself.
That was a guess. I just
Yeah, what do you think happens here? I mean, I think it's over in 5 if Colorado finishes this out.
If Colorado wins, it's in the first 5 minutes.
I agree.
Oh, you mean you're talking games?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think
I
series
agree.
is over.
Give me 7 games.
Well, yeah, that's
I want it.
obvious.
I think if Tampa wins the game, it's going 7 games, but
Yeah.
5 or 7 at this point. I agree.
yeah, it'll be every home team if Tampa wins this game. I think Colorado still wins it in 7.
I'd have to see how Tampa looks leaving Game 6.
No, Huff, you're gonna go Lightning every single time because you go follow that Vasilevsky
Yeah,
stat.
I probably would.
You're
I
100%.
still think they're gonna
You
win
wouldn't
7.
you wouldn't be able to bet on the Avs.
No, I just be tough. I've rode them so hard.
I watch these teams and think about the Pens. The Pens are so far away from what these teams are.
Oh yeah.
Like, they make it, but they're just not, like, even if they, okay, whatever. They beat the Rangers. They beat the Canes. I mean, there's just no way that they would ever beat either of these teams.
I agree.
I was actually saying after game 2, I was like, thank God Rangers are not in this situation because we would just get embarrassed.
Yeah, I mean, like, these teams are just. I still think that. I mean, the fact that the Rangers beat the Canes, I thought was. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that would have been like in 2014 when you guys lost in 5 games to the Kings.
Yeah, definitely. And that Canes team was literally just 10 times better than us. Or Kings team, my bad. They were just a better team, and we at that point Lundqvist couldn't do anything else. So
yeah, I agree.
I just think these two teams are just so many levels above every other team in the NHL right now.
They are.
Like, this is the matchup we needed in the Stanley Cup.
Ooh.
All right. Do you guys want to go over these awards?
Yeah, you could just list them off.
Cool. Already a couple NHL awards going around. Igor Shesterkin wins the Vezina Trophy for the 2022 NHL season. Most valuable goalie, I think pretty well deserved there. Maple Leafs forward Austin Matthews takes home 2 awards on Tuesday, winning the Hart Trophy, League MVP, and the Ted Lindsay Award. Another 2 awards, I think they're pretty well deserved. Avalanche defenseman Cale Makar wins the 2022 Norris Trophy, which was presented to the NHL's most valuable defenseman at just 23 years old. That's a pretty impressive feat.
I saw a stat. I saw someone.
Did you
voting? Yossi got 6 more first place voting votes than him, but he got like quadruple the amount of second place votes. So Makar won it.
I was just gonna say, did
Wow.
you see the voting on that? It was so close. I've never seen an MVP or a best defenseman voting so freaking close. Yossi had more first place votes.
98 to 92 in first place votes.
Yeah, that was crazy. I've never seen that. I think they got it right though.
Red Wings defenseman Moritz Seider wins the 2022 Calder Trophy, which was presented the Rookie of the Year.
Another pretty well deserved one. I thought he had a hell of a year, obviously, with that pretty
Absolutely.
young Detroit team up there. Nothing but good things coming out of Hockey Town the next couple of years with Stevie Y up there in the front office. Guys like Lucas Raymond, Moritz Seider winning the Calder. Larkin, they have a nice little squad up there. I expect some good things out of the Red Wings in the next couple of years.
Yeah, definitely well deserved too. I actually thought Michael Bunting was going to
I
get
really
this,
didn't want
but
Bunting to get it because he wasn't really like a rookie.
neither did I because he's 27
Yeah.
years old. Yeah, it's ridiculous,
That
but
would have been like
good,
when Ben
well
Simmons.
deserved.
That
I'm
would have
more
been like when
excited.
Ben Simmons won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Brandon Wheaton back in the day, coming out at like 20 years old, winning Rookie of the
He's
Year.
28 whenever he came out of college.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean you're a rookie?
All right, but at least that's first year out of college.
Yeah,
True.
I know what you mean because Ben Simmons wasn't a true rookie. He was injured.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he played games that season. He played like 15 games.
Just didn't play the amount required.
The minimum. I think it was like 25 or 30 or something like that.
So you want to rip off this torch stat? It's the most Philly move ever.
Yeah, isn't this so funny, right? John Tortorella is the new head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. Flyer fans are going to be excited about. Excuse me. Do you guys think the Flyers fans are going to be excited about this? I saw a quote that he said, "I've been shoveling dog and horse shit for the past 8 or 9 months or so. I'm excited to talk hockey to someone." So it seems he's pretty excited about the opportunity, if you ask me.
They're doing TV. What the fuck's he talking about?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Who says?
This guy belongs in Philly,
Yeah,
to be
he
honest.
is Philly.
he belongs in Philly.
Hopefully, he's a really good coach too. I think so. Hopefully, they can find some success here.
Mackie, I honestly
Send him to
don't know
Bale.
how he didn't get
That
eaten
team
alive
who's-
in New York. It was just because you guys went to the Cup.
Yeah, he had a good team, exactly. So I thought he was a good coach in New York too. So he's a tough coach, man.
The league
Guy knows what he's doing.
the guys on Chiclet said today. The league is better when Torts is there, giving you post game sound bits every night.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
They're gonna do it. Is that the end of the little outline there?
That's all I got.
Alrighty, we'll sign off here. That's gonna do it for me. Episode 39. Thanks everyone for listening. I want to thank Brett for joining us. I did a hell of an interview. Coming on talking sports with us. Love to have you back. As we get into football season, love to have you on again.
Please do. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad you guys invited me on. Glad we finally got to do this. I know it's been a couple weeks in the making, so glad we get to work.
Yeah, as always, follow us on Instagram. Looking out for a couple of the picks. Didn't have a pick tonight. Mackie weren't necessarily in agreement on who was going to win the game, but we'll see what happens here in overtime.
Seems like either pick was a good pick. So
just can't believe I texted you. I think it goes to OT 2-2.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you should have taken. I was gonna say you should bet that.
And that's going to do it for us this week on Hit the Books podcast. Thank you for all the support week in and week out. Please be sure to share and check out our various social media platforms and check out our website. All the info is located in our link tree in the description below. And always remember to hit the books.
Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.